Hi, I just want to share with you my struggles today. I am a caregiver of a man who had a stroke 3 years ago, and I'm a former occupational therapy assistant and teacher, and I've been working with this man for 3 years now. Very close to the family, wonderful opportunity. It's a part-time position, and today was kind of funny, but kind of trying. So I just wanted to share that with you, because if you're a caregiver or a therapist, you're going to have days where it just doesn't go well and you just have to laugh. So today was a day where we go on an outing. Usually every day we go on an outing, but we went to a senior center to play some games, and usually I play with my client, and others pass by and say hello, but nobody really stops to play. And we have a game that we prefer, quite a few games, but the one that we enjoy the most is Phase 10, and it takes a while. So we started playing that, things were going well, and along comes a little old lady in a wheelchair, and she couldn't speak very clearly. She had a hard time getting out what she was trying to say. I could tell she had had a stroke and she had aphasia, so maybe she's processing it okay in her mind, but the words are not coming out in an understandable way. So she's trying to speak with us. It's getting frustrating. She decides she wants to play the game. Now, this is a long game. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, bless her heart, she should join us. This would be great. We need to meet new friends. But it's going to be difficult to understand her and try to teach her this game. But she was bound and determined and made her way at the table. You know, we're midway through the game, but stopped. So I'm looking at my client who has a hard time. He usually thinks things are all about him, and so I wondered how he would take the situation. He was very welcoming and let her play, but he's kind of giving me the eye, so I'm hoping she doesn't see that. We let her join us, and I'm trying to explain, and I tend to use my hands when I explain things, and I tend to speak louder than normal. And I guess she already knew the game, and she was getting very frustrated at me because I was treating her in a disrespectful way, is what I was realizing she was trying to tell me. So I back off. We're playing the game, and we get one of the phases. The first phase is 2 sets of 3. So I was trying to explain to her what a set is, and that we needed 2 sets of those. She kept thinking 3 sets, but it was 2 sets. So back and forth we go. So I'm trying to problem solve this with my client, who isn't, cognitively he's there, but misses things. So it was funny to me because I couldn't get it right. I would upset this poor woman. She would get frustrated, think that I'm talking to her in a condescending way. And then, my client's laughing because he realizes what's going on. And I didn't want her to see that. So, oh my goodness. Finally, she goes to lay down her cards. She has 1 set, 2 set, 3 sets. You're only supposed to have 2 sets in this game. Nothing more, nothing less. So we look at each other, me and my client, and we kind of realized the same thing. Like, let's just let her play. Let's not try to stop this. Let's just have a good time, and whatever she does is fine. So we let it go. We're still in the same round. Couple rounds later, my client decides to tell her, oh, you're wrong. You're not supposed to have 3 different sets, just 2. At that point, she's totally confused because we already going forward in the game, and she thinks she has that round 1. Oh, it was just funny to me. And there were gals nearby listening in, and they were laughing too. So I'm sure everybody got a good, it's kind of comical for the people around who were paying attention to what was going on. So it is hard to explain yourself sometimes to people who have had a stroke, especially if they have a hard time expressing themselves. They may completely understand you, but the words are not coming out in a way that makes you realize this. So, I don't know, it just occurred to me that stroke can come in so many different forms, and luckily my client, he can express himself. With his situation, his right side was affected, but his speech was not. So, thankfully, that's the case. But this poor woman, bless her heart for coming out into the community, trying new things, meeting new friends, playing a game that she knew, realizing it was going to be frustrating for the people around her when she can't communicate clearly. So I guess the point of all this is, take it easy, slow down, try to be clear in the way you express things and describe things. Be welcoming of others, and just get out there and do it. Just get out there and try new things and be flexible. The last thing to add, so it was time to be done. We didn't finish the game, but this wonderful woman had to leave. So she leaves us, and we get up to use the bathroom, and I have to go in the restroom with my client in the men's restroom. And I'm always hoping that the timing is good and we don't scare anybody in there. But he uses a urinal standing at the sink, fills the urinal. I come in, take the urinal, put it in the proper place. But he needs me to come in there once in a while. So I leave him in there, go to the women's bathroom for a minute, return, and he's in there with a man who cannot, he's deaf and dumb, and he doesn't read lips very well. So, and I knew who he was, but he was completely confused because my poor client was in there calling for me, and he didn't know what to do because here's this man at the sink with the urinal, and this poor man, what is he supposed to do? So he was like up against a wall freaking out. I thought, really? This is a kind of a hard day. So in my very limited sign language, I'm trying to reassure him, problem was solved, we took care of it. But sometimes your days are like that, and you just gotta laugh at yourself and roll with it and keep getting out there, keep trying things. If you work with a client or a loved one who has a physical impairment or cognitive impairment, just keep living. Don't sit home. You're gonna have hard times, but I think the best way to deal with it is to laugh. What can you do? So thank you for listening to my story today. I'm Jill, and again, I'm a former occupational therapist and teacher, and I work with a client who has had a stroke, and he has some challenges, but he's a go-getter and a guy who every day he makes the choice that it's going to be a positive day. He doesn't dwell on the negative, and he's just out there like a child, and he just wants to try new things and be busy. So I'm blessed in that way, because sitting home doing nothing or sulking about it wouldn't get us anywhere. So stay positive. Thank you for listening. Take a look at my other videos. I share different tips for caregivers. I let you know some ideas about what you do when you're at home, some games you can try. I have a couple videos about different games. We never have to turn on the TV. We always have things to do. There's a lot you can do without any money. So, and if you are fortunate enough to go out there and pay for things in your community, there are some pretty interesting groups that I can share if you want to know more about it. But take a look at what's there. Ask questions, look around, do some Google search. Get your client moving and get their mind working. Well, thanks for listening. Until next time, see ya.